So this is where it's all leading up to. Free Comic Book Day, where Brendan and Simon are working together. All these differences in continuity, it's leading up to this event called Event Horizon. And we're going to have this mini-series where they're going to reveal why this has changed. And also, to get everyone on board, if you haven't already read the books, on May the 4th, remember that, there's going to be a lot of Star Wars publicity coming out this year. Everybody already knows, there's no way around it. But on that day, when you get into your comics retailer, you can get this issue for free. And can we back up a little? Oh yeah, that was a... And in preparation of that, this coming Monday, next week, electronically, if you go on Titan Comics website and sign up for their free newsletter, they will let you download the first issue of the Robotech comic series for free. So you can get it electronically now, get on board, and then on Free Comic Book Day, get that free issue to get into the Event Horizon event. So this is going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of surprises coming up for Robotech Comics. And so now this leads into more news stories. Kevin?
Yeah, live action film. Who wants to find out the live action film? All right. Folks, Sony Pictures has acquired the rights to the Robotech live action movie. And two awesome producers are attached, Gianni Nuneri and Mark Canton. Gianni and Mark have a long, successful track record in Hollywood. And we're pleased to announce a new producer has joined the team. Her name is Barbara Muschetti. But who is going to direct the live-action film? Andy Muschietti has joined the team as director, and he directed...
When you're a kid, you think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day, you realize that's not true. If you opened your eyes, you would see what we're going through. Because when you're alone as a kid, the monsters see you as weaker. You don't even know they're getting closer until it's too late.
It. Andy directed It. Grossed over $700 million worldwide. The best opening for a September film. And he's currently directing the sequel to It. But who is going to write the live-action Robotech movie, you ask? We've hired a writer, and his name is Jason Fuchs. And Jason has written Ice Age Continental Drift, which grossed over $877 million worldwide. And he also co-wrote a little film called Wonder Woman. Yes, which also grossed over $821 million worldwide. Both these films, Jason has grossed over $1.6 billion worldwide. And folks, they came over to the Harmony Gold offices last year. Here they are. That's Jason on the left, Andy's in the center, and on the right with our chairman, Frank Agrama. And folks, they were like kids in a candy store. Yeah, trust me, they didn't want to leave, folks. It was awesome. They are huge, huge fans. So you're all asking now, what are the next steps? Well, Andy is currently directing the sequel to It, which is currently in post-production. While that is going on, Jason is writing the live-action Robotech screenplay. And Harmony Gold and Sony are working with the production team to develop the live-action Robotech movie while the sequel to It is in post-production. So as you can see, folks, we have an A-list team for the Robotech live-action film. Outstanding partners worldwide. The Robotech franchise is looking great, but we want to hear what you have to say. We have a microphone in the back. Please line up, and if you ask a question, you will get a prize. So please come on up here. Sir, in the purple shirt, you are the first question. What is your question?
Well, I'm very excited that the video games come into the arcade thing, but is there any chance, I know it's kind of tricky with licensing deals, that some of the old Robotech games come through a mobile format, like the Game Boy Advance game we had back in the day, or the Robotech Saga one?
Yeah, Sony has a great say in Robotech video games, and they want a AAA publisher on them. So we're working with Sony trying to find a AAA publisher. And it's really tough because Sony wants a high-quality game in the marketplace.
All right.
Now, you were also referring to the classic games as well,
The
right?
classic ones reissued for mobile formats or anything.
Would you like to see the classic games reissued as mobile
Yes,
formats?
yeah.
Okay. We will work on that for you. Come on up and get some prizes here. We can get you some Robotech fan art and a Robotech sweatshirt. Here you go. Yes, next question.
Well, I'm really excited about the live-action movie, but Robotech started as animation, and I would love there to be a new animated series. I know you guys had one a little while back, the Robotech Academy, but is there any plans for, say, a new Robotech animated series?
We are currently working with Sony on some corporate stuff, and we have to iron that out first. Once that gets ironed out, we can then hopefully move forward with an animated series. So come on up and get a prize. And get some new generation artwork there too. Yes. Seamus,
What's up?
What's
So,
up?
my question is about the Titan Comics series. So obviously right now Simon Furman is writing it, Titan Comics is working on it, you guys are all working on it. Can you guys give me a little bit of insight into the process? Is it that Simon Furman pitches something? Is it that Titan Comics comes up with the idea and then you guys okay it? And are there any examples of a time where you guys were like, let's change that?
Yeah, I mean, at first it'll be a clean sheet approach. It'll be like, what can we do with the universe? That's kind of exciting. You don't want to just do a simple retread. Everybody just wants to go back to Booby Trap, but you know, how many times do you want to hear the same old story? So Brian Wood made a very, very interesting pitch to basically change the universe and had let it unfold very, very subtly at first. But then I think when Simon came on board, what was interesting was he was so knowledgeable about the universe, it made our jobs a lot easier, because a lot of the things where we would say, no, that wouldn't work into the Robotech universe, he would actually self-check himself. He would say, well, this would be a great idea, but, and so in a way he's almost acting as our shadow editor, along with the very talented editors over at Titan. And once it goes through the whole process of the story proposals, and they're working maybe a year in advance. That's why we can do things like this Event Horizon program right now. And after that, we'll actually think about future storylines where Brendan gets involved, you know, how we can have potential branching storylines from there.
All right, right on, thank you.
Come on up and get a prize. Next question.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Great that we got news about the movie and all. Just kind of curious, kind of like a theory, kind of like, since we're kind of getting that lull comic book phase, like, yeah, we've done that before, and kind of like anime is kind of coming up now, more popular than ever, which is kind of weird. Do you think that, I know you can't do it, but kind of a theory, kind of like, we had some really bad anime-related movies, Dragon Ball being one of them. And
We not speak of that here.
yeah, I know, I didn't want to bring that up. And my joke to my friends like, hey, Robotech movie, I think we're gonna have Half-Life 3 before we get the movie. I know, bad pun. But with Battle Ninja Alita, is this kind of like, with that being successful, will this bring up more, you know, people say, hey, maybe it can work. Maybe Robotech will probably be the one movie that'll break that mold.
Folks, Sony views Robotech like a Harry Potter franchise. And there's over 3 billion reasons why Sony wants to make a live-action Robotech movie. Because of that other giant transforming robot franchise. Yeah. Yeah, trust me. When I tell you, I had a meeting with the Sony executives explaining what Robotech was, and they're all on board. They totally want a live-action Robotech movie. What's taking long here, let's go back to this slide here for a second.
Yeah.
Andy has to shoot the sequel to It right now. He has
Which
to
is a
finish
great
that
movie.
first.
The first one was great. I loved the original, and
Right.
that one's a great.
While we wait, we get the sequel to It.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Andy's a huge fan, so is Jason. And a lot of people at Sony are huge fans, and they are lobbying hard to get a live-action Robotech movie. But once again, we gotta wait for Andy to finish. You can't do two things at once.
My main concern is with J.J. Abrams directing Your Name and the story that's like, oh, no, it's, I'm afraid like whatever company, whatever producing movie company try to pick an anime movie, that could make it even lower, because like I said, all the other ones, Ghost in the Shell was a great movie visually, beginning, but afterwards kind of Battle Angel Alita stuck to the original source material. And like now, like let's say comic movies are starting to get that little dull now, and anime movies are kind of like Alita being that one that actually, holy crap, we can work this. That's the thing we're kind of like I was worried about, like we're going to get some bad ones that can bring it down.
The live action Robotech movie's in very good hands. So that's all I can. That's all we can really.
That's it. That's not, like I said, just.
It just comes down to story.
Yeah.
You have to tell a good story, doesn't matter how it looks. If the story is engaging, people will come back for the story.
So here, I can get you some artwork. Next question, yes.
Yeah, in your initial panel, you mentioned the new toys, or there's the new fighters, and basically the new toys are coming out. Yet at the Toonami booth, I noticed they also have a prototype for the Alpha. Are there any others coming out in the pipeline? And also anything on Southern Cross Mecha?
Yeah, so in terms of the schedule, what Toonami has is wave 2 of their figures. They're hoping that have that ready for later this year. The one that I know is on the timetable for San Diego Comic-Con is the stunt aerobatic plane from Booby Trap, if you remember that one, the red, white, and blue one. The other toy manufacturer, Met Toys, that we showed off earlier, I recommend that you visit the Robotech fan booth at FC3. He's got actually some of the 3D print tests shown off, so there's actually more Southern Cross sculpts beyond than just the prototypes that we showed that he's working on. So just to show that we do care about Southern Cross, contrary to message boards on the internet. So I hope that answers your question.
Here, I'll give you some awesome artwork. Here you go. Next question, yes.
Hi there.
Hello.
First off, thank you guys for everything that you do.
Thank you.
I'm really excited about the movie, and I'm distracted by the adorable plush that's up there.
This plushie is yours.
Oh my god.
It calls to you.
Thank you.
What's your question, ma'am?
My question is, will we ever see any merch love for Lancer?
Yeah.
Yellow Lancer.
Okay.
Dressed how?
As a plushie?
Either like a doll or like a figure.
Women of Robotech.
We'll pass that along to our licenses.
That's all you need to know.
Your plushie awaits. Please go that up. This plushie needs a home.
I think Lancer would prefer not to identify.
Yeah. There you go. You're welcome. Here you are. Yes.
Hi, thank you for being here and for everything that Harmony Gold does. I wonder if there's any updates to the Shadow Chronicles. Was that meant to be a standalone or followed up on later?
There's meant to be more stories to that, but we'll cross that bridge when we're ready, because right now Sony has a lot of plans in mind for Robotech, and this is across many kinds of media.
Next question.
So the Robotech movie, do we have an idea of where we're looking at 2023, 2025, 2029?
Okay. All right. All we can say is that Andy's directing the sequel to Ed.
Yeah.
That's all we can. We can't. There's no release date yet.
Okay.
We've been ordered to kill each other if we say anything
Yeah.
about the release date.
Or
so
Sony
we
will lock
want to
us-
stay alive.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an idea.
Next question.
Hi, just two short questions about the comics. The Titan series, is that going to continue on into Southern Cross, Sentinels, and, New Generation?
Oh yeah, they are messing up the timelines big time. So they're kind of going after what Carl really wanted to do with the original Robotech, which was if he could just mash all the timelines together. So already we've got the Regis poking into the Macross Saga storyline, and now with the new...
On 16 millimeter film. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's how anime used to be aired in Japan. Now you can technically do it. The question is trying to make it in a cost-effective manner. That's what we're researching right now.
Gotcha. And one other question was, what any of the mechas that you were talking about, are these all going to be available in one spot, or do you have to go to all those different places to purchase?
good place to find out if you're not sure of all the different licensees. Just go to robotech.com.
We have a Robotech store.
Then that'll lead you to the websites for Kids Concept or Kids Logic or Toynami.
Cool. Okay. Thank you. Wait, get some artwork. All right, Foker, here you go. Yes.
I was wondering if you were going to make any origin stories for any of the characters in live action film.
You want spoilers now?
No, like, I just want to know if you were going to do that someday for some characters.
We can't talk about that yet, because Sony's listening right now. But you know what?
I want to die.
I'm going to give you the limited edition Valkyrie. How's that sound? Next question.
All right, it's about toys. I'm a toy collector, so you know the Masterpiece Collection when you guys did the limited edition 1500 line. You did the Cyclones, Scott Bernard and Rand. You kind of stopped it there. I don't know if you could ever make Brooke Bartley and Lancer.
You're talking about the masterpiece
line, yeah.
The masterpiece Cyclones.
It was never completed. I mean, you get the Beta Fighters, you got the the Alphas and the Veritex, but you kind of stopped at the Cyclone line.
I think they were doing it based on retailer orders, and so with the VF1s, there was robust orders all the way through the whole VF1 line. With the Cyclones, there was a big push for Scott Bernard, but then it kind of fell off on Rand. And so it just comes down to when the demand is there again.
I see, okay.
For Toynami. I mean, just simply ask George Sun, he'll tell you all about it. I mean, one thing he is, besides just a fanboy toy maker, is he's also a businessman. There's a lot of these companies that make great toys, but they go out of business after a few years. Even though there are some haters who don't like Toynami, they've been in this business for a long, long time because they just produce to fit demand and keep themselves in business. So I think once Robotech hits wider with more stuff going on, you're going to see more toys again.
Okay, thank you very much.
Why not get smart? Here we go. Next question.
Hi, so I really like all the Mecha figures, and I remember last year, or the year before, you guys announced that you released a doll line with like the real cloth clothing and it sold out. Were you guys ever gonna bring them back or expand on like more characters or anything?
They haven't come out yet.
Oh, they're not out yet.
But Kids Logic is working on them. They're shipping the Rick Hunters right now.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna follow up with a Max Sterling, and they're looking really, really good. So, in fact, hold on here. I'm going to show you a quick image here that Kids Logic has. There it is. Yeah. So, they haven't come out yet. So, they're definitely on the way. So, here, come on up. Next question.
Yeah, so we've all run into people who have no idea what Robotech is. They've never heard of it. They haven't seen it before. How do you guys, and I mean, I know it's a focus of the podcast that's going on right now. How do you guys processize? How do you guys evangelize Robotech? What are your personal ways?
Great question. A couple things. One, we put it back on streaming. A lot of people have said, hey, you like anime? You're young, you like Naruto, or you like... People have said, look, you should check out Robotech. We've got a lot of new fans that way. But also when we do the conventions, many people have just sort of wandered into a Robotech panel. Some are curious because they've heard about it. Others just want to look for a place to sit down. No, I'm not kidding you. I actually had a fan say, I look for a place to sit down and I am a fan now. I'm going to start buying it. You have to go out and interact with the fans and also create new content like the comics, which are doing very, very well. So there's a lot of ways you can do it that are very cost effective. So, but it's a good point, sir.
And ultimately, the most important piece of the puzzle is all in this room. You guys are ambassadors. When you guys share how much you love Robotech with others, at first it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but you're going to find a lot of like minds. This is what's great about Wondercon. People go, what, you're into that too? We meet lots of those, and it's just fun to find out what aspects of Robotech everybody like.
Come on up. Next question.
Hi guys. Glad you had it at 8 o'clock. I was finally able to catch up and get to this panel. I missed last year's. Tommy, it's good to see you. I saw you at one of the 501st charity paintball games.
Oh, nice.
You actually borrowed my marker and test fired it.
Do I owe you the marker back?
No. But my question is, I love that bomber jacket and the hoodies. Not too fond of the beanie, but when it's hotter, can you guys license out some nice baseball caps with the SDF logo or the VF1S Skull and Crossbow logo? I'd totally consider buy those.
Yeah.
You can buy an SDF1 baseball cap right now on Robotech.com.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
And then any chance to release a collector's version? It's nice to have it streamed, but I want the library set of the original series Blu-ray here.
We're working on that, but we can't announce it yet.
Okay, awesome. That's good news. Thank you.
Come on up. Next question.
Yeah, I had a question about the with the movie coming up and working on that. Are there plans to expand like a comic book tie-in or obviously video game tie-ins to that?
The head of Sony merchandising, Jamie Stevens, is a huge Robotech supporter. She told us, you have a mandate from me to go ahead and make as much Robotech merchandise as you can in the run-up to the live-action film. Once the live-action film is greenlit, she's ready to really push Robotech to a new level. She's a strong advocate for the franchise, folks. Someone was asking about Sony, and I just want to give you an idea how strong and what level of support we're getting from Sony in this regard. So, great.
On the comic book end, is this, keep in mind, like with the movie, with the style for any tie-ins be a little bit different, or are you planning on trying to keep that same style?
Well, different creative teams have different styles. So even between Marco Turini and Hendry, they have very distinctive styles. But we're trying to keep it somewhat consistent so they transition from one to another. The live-action movie, it's going to be a different animal. It's going to be like, it would be like comparing, old Sunbow Transformers versus Michael Bay Transformers. They're two different animals.
Right.
Sir, so I wanted to second that notion where figures of Lancer and Yellow Dancer would be awesome to actually have them. You can change between the two characters. But I had two questions. One, I've noticed as I've introduced my girlfriend to Robotech that there's two different versions. One on the one on Netflix and the one on Amazon. One's the TV version, and one we were like, holy crap, there's boobs in Robotech. And I was curious, what the original, when they originally did that, was it just a direct cut from the Japanese version and then they edited it out for TV?
It was NBC broadcast standards. So the first station that it was going to air on, the largest market, was NBC New York. And they had to abide by those broadcast standards in 1985. Obviously, the streaming standards for what Netflix will allow is slightly different today. So they don't have quite those restrictions. So they'll have 5.1 sound and death, destruction, and shower scenes. So, but if you don't want that, you can go to Amazon's Prime service. And they'll have the original broadcast standard, so you don't have to like cover, your kid's eyes.
Well, I'm showing my girlfriend, not my kid.
Okay. It's a free country.
That other guy, what I tell people when I'm trying to pimp out Robotech is it's the granddaddy of anime in America. And they're like, well, what about, Speed Racers? Like, okay, serious anime. So my other question is, I'm so busy and I drive a lot for work and I commute a lot, and so I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And it made me think about it. The last novel I remember was reading back in high school, the Jack McKinney books. Is there any more novelizations?
Yeah, so if you go onto Amazon, we actually worked with the publisher Del Rey to get everything digitized. So not just the original Jack McKinney run, also the Lost Generation books. So all the hard-to-find novels of the in-between stories, like End of the Circle, Sentinels, those are all online. You can download those to Kindle or whatever ebook reader you have.
So my wish list, though, is to see some of these converted, or here rather, into like audiobooks or audio dramas would be awesome. As an Audible listener, and all the commuting I do when I drive, I listen to audiobooks, and that would be amazing to hear put into that kind of a thing?
You know, that's a good idea. I mean, we can float that idea over to the parent company of Del Rey and see what they think of it.
All right. Come up, get your artwork. Sir, you weren't able to ask a question. I have some artwork up here for you. So I don't want you guys to get left out here. So, folks, we have to wrap it up. They gave me the stop sign. So, thank you all for coming. We'll see you all next year. Thank you very much, guys.
Wait, aren't you supposed to be signing with Bob?
Hey, there's always one guy.
All right. Fair answer.
We have a few of Timothy Chasen's art pieces here.
Well played.